everyone, I'm Paige Abbott and this is your weekly recovery message. And this week I thought I would talk about the relationship fizzle. Addiction comes with a lot of all or nothing, black or white thinking, and often I find with regards to relationships, the approach is often either I will leave things the same as they are today, or if people are feeling dissatisfied in the relationship, there's the thought that they have to kind of blow up the relationship in a really dramatic way. Addiction loves this, of course, because addiction thrives on pain, drama, chaos, and so having relationships with a nuclear bomb thrown into them is very appealing and attractive to addiction. Not so appealing and attractive to the healthy side of the person. And I think on the healthy side, people are getting more and more comfortable and need to recognize the importance of the relationship fizzle. And what I mean by that is that sometimes relationships do just slowly over time run their course, trickle out, and come to a point where there's just no contact or there's not a lot of connection there. Obviously, the relationship fizzle is a little bit easier to move through in friendships or professional relationships or extended family relationships where there's a little bit more physical distance there to begin with. And often what this will look like is just over time, people accumulate evidence that this relationship just really isn't providing them much or what they need. So every time people are together, they just find they get less and less out of it. And so there's less contact, there's less invitations to go out, there's less acceptance of invitations to get together. And that's how the relationship kind of slowly fades or fizzles over time, until sometimes it reaches the point there's just no contact, or maybe it ends at a point where there is some contact, but it's pretty minimal and it's pretty superficial. In a romantic relationship, especially a marital or a partnership, it's a little bit more difficult to go through the relationship fizzle, but the same process can still happen. That if people are paying attention and checking in with themselves, they will start to see over time that the relationship is just offering them less and less. Now, in a romantic relationship or a marriage, often there's many attempts to try and engage with the partner, to share feelings, to talk about what's going on, to see if change is possible. But if it's not possible, then often there is a fading in the relationship. And at some point, people then do have to look at the reality of what's happening and make some difficult choices. Do they continue on in the relationship, or do they accept that it has fizzled or faded and decide to exit the relationship? And at that point, if there's been kind of this realistic appreciation of the fade and the fizzle, then sometimes the divorce and the separation process doesn't have to look super dramatic or super antagonistic. It is often when people have been ignoring those signs and those symptoms, hoping in their mind it'll get better, thinking that they have to stick it out. It's either this or nothing, that if the relationship does come to an end, then that's where that more explosive, kind of dramatic, antagonistic reaction can come. So it is important to appreciate that relationships have a natural life cycle. Some will be longer than others. And so in your recovery, I would encourage you to just every once in a while ask yourself about particular relationships. Where are they at? How are you feeling in them? What information and evidence do you have about the nature, the extent, and the depth of that relationship? And you may start to see over time certain relationships starting to fizzle. And hopefully you can accept that that is okay. It will be painful, it will be sad. There's always going to be a sense of loss that comes when relationships fade. These were people who were very important in our lives at certain points. It's just some relationships aren't meant to be lifelong, and the impact that somebody has at one point in our life may not be a forever thing, and their impact may be there, but their presence and their continued role may shift. I wish you the best in your ongoing journey of recovery and relationships. Take care and bye for now.